Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with
All right, I'm glad to see we're not alone today. This is usually Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so we snuck one in on Thursday because I'm going to be traveling over to Seller Sessions in London tomorrow. So anyways, great to see that we're not talking to ourselves, Kelsey. But today on the show, we're going to be talking about Instagram automation. And our guest today is a $1 million seller whose brands have been featured on Rachel Ray and Forbes. We're going to talk a bit more about that during the podcast. That's kind of cool. He's also an Amazon.com instructor. He's being featured on Freedom Ticket 3. And this is awesome. He was the first person to launch a chatbot course. His chatbot course is called Chatbot Marketing University. If you don't know who I'm talking about yet, it's Paul Barron. So we'll bring him on in a second. But before we do that, I just wanted to thank our new sponsor, Sellerize. Sellerize is a comprehensive, let's try that one more time. Sellerize is your comprehensive solution for your everyday business needs. It's everything that you need to grow and scale your Amazon business, and it's just a click away. So for more information, contact Dima and his team over at Sellerize.com. And Sellerize is only with one R. All right, now bring in the boy wonder.
Hello, it's our special Thursday episode. I'm excited for this. We're probably confusing so many people
I
right
know
now,
we are.
we're going
I'm
to
confused.
disappoint so many people on Friday, but yeah, hopefully we'll get the word out. There is no episode on Friday. Tomorrow Norm's going to the UK, so this is our little makeup episode, but it's back to normal. Next week, we figured it out. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're back at it. No more schedule changes for you guys. And yeah, I also just want to give a quick shout out to Simon. Simon finally received his Patreon mug. So Woo! Congratulations, Simon. I told you it was coming. It just took a little longer than expected. But
they exist.
They do exist. They are real. So anyways, smash those like buttons. Give us those thumbs up. We had a change in guest as well today. So if you're here for David, he is being rescheduled. We had conflict of times with that. So
Kelsey and him got into a fight. It was terrible.
Yeah. I won, but yeah. Anyways, we'll jump into it soon enough. We do have a prize that we're giving away, as well as we have one free ticket to Austin, or not to Austin, but we have the seller meetup ticket for the Q4 Mastery Marketing event hosted by Amy Weiss. So if you are interested, if you're going to be in Austin or you can travel to Austin on October 15th, let me know in the comment section. The first person who says, I want Austin, I'll give you the ticket. So you need to be in Austin on October 15th. This is not a virtual summit. This is an actual ticket. So let me know, put it in the comment section. I want Austin, and I'll get you the ticket. We only got one.
That includes the lunch. That includes, I mean, it's a really great prize. We understand that it's a very specific prize. So if you are in Austin, or if you want to get there, it's going to be a great event. There's going to be a ton of speakers. I think there's 16 or 20 people that are either speaking or on panel. And then there's the networking session. So yeah, just let us know if you're going. Great. And we're going to have another giveaway today, which I'll get into in a second. But before I do that, remember, smash them like buttons. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, ring that bell, do whatever you have to do. But we are going to get into this right now. So you sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, enjoy the show. Where is Mr. Baron? Bonjour, Mr. Baron.
Bonjour. Et tu parles français aussi, n'est-ce pas?
What?
I asked, I said, you speak French too, right?
And I said, what?
What?
Yeah, no, I speak very bad, broken Quebecois.
Quebecois, yeah.
And I can say, like, bonjour, or my dog is dead. The typical stuff you learn on Rosetta Stone.
My dog is dead. That's a good conversation starter. How are you doing? My dog is dead. I would.
So yeah, just great way to start the show. Break the ice. Paul, if people don't know you, can you just tell us a little bit of background about what you do, who you are?
Yeah. So I've been selling on Amazon since 2015. So not as long as my good buddy Norm here, but long enough to make a bunch of mistakes and have, a decent amount of success. It's funny, yeah, 7-figure seller, might not hit that this year because of Amazon and Black Hat attacks, which is frustrating the bejesus out of me. But yeah, no, I would say that I generally know what I'm doing on Amazon. I kind of pride myself in being more of a brand building, type guy. Looking at external traffic, audience building. We're geeking out right now about Instagram direct automation, which is amazing. And I wish that we would have had this like 3 or 4 years ago. But I mean, yeah. So I don't know. I do a lot.
So who'd have thunk we'd be talking about that today?
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I obviously wasn't. I wasn't expecting it, but this is really cool because there's a bunch of new like automation features. If you guys, so I guess my thing in the industry, people call me I don't know, a chatbot guy or a chatbot expert or something. I don't know. I've been called worse, but yeah, chatbot expert is commonly one thing that people call me.
Right. So before we get started, if you have, like, for anybody who's listening in, if you're using chatbots, let us know. If you're not using chatbots, let us know, because I'd really like to know why you're not using them and using them to your full advantage. Now, what we're going to be talking about today is something new. Not that a lot of people know about Instagram. But before we get into that, what type of social media platforms would you recommend for sellers to be looking at or focusing on?
I mean, honestly, this is a customer and category dependent question.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my good buddies sells office products, which there's markets for that, but things like staplers and paper and staples, like those probably don't do too great on Instagram or social media. So first and foremost, it starts with an understanding of your ideal target customer, your ideal customer persona or avatar. So generally speaking, when you start, let's say there's 2 paths that you can take. If you're just getting started and you're doing your research, you don't know who your demographics are, then what I would draw from is like inspiration from competition and see what are they doing on social media. Obviously, you don't want to copy them. Like, you want to just see what they're doing so you can see what's working and what's not working. And then you can kind of dig into their customers that way, which could be your potential customers. My preferred method is, once you're selling, you actually talk to your customers, you interview them, and you ask them. And we do these through chatbots. Most of our customer segmentation surveys are all done through, at the time it was all Messenger, but now we have Instagram Direct, and WhatsApp is in beta right now. And this is cool too. Last night, so we're going to be in Austin. Rochelle and I are going to be there. Rochelle just bought her plane tickets last night. She didn't think that she was going to be able to come. So while she was doing this, she had some questions for United. And not many people know this, but Apple has been testing chatbots in their platform. It's called iMessage or Business. I think it's iMessage for Business since 2018. And so Rochelle was going through this, and she's like, "Did you know that Apple's doing this?" I'm like, "Yes, I do. I've been talking about it for 2.5 years, Rochelle." Like, my own wife doesn't listen to anything I say, but it's super cool. So chatbots, I'm messaging people, building audiences. The reason why I love them is because this is how people communicate. Especially now, nowadays, if you want to get a hold of somebody, generally speaking, you're going to send them a message of some kind, whether that's just a text message or something on WhatsApp or Telegram or I owe Nira a phone call. He sent me a message a while back, and I need to get back in touch with him. But anyway, the reason why I love chatbots is because that's how people communicate. That's how they talk to their friends. And to be effective, to be an effective marketer, you need to be able to communicate with people where and how and when they want you to communicate with them. So that's why I like using chatbots. So, what platform should people be on? If you can't ask your customers, and you're building things up, I would start with my competition, see where they're at. So we're in the baby space. Everybody should know that by now, if you've been following me for a while. So our channels that we're on are Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. We're really deep in those three, mostly in Instagram and Facebook. TikTok is an amazing channel that has a lot of potential for us that, quite simply, we haven't dove into that as much because we just don't have the time. Because to be effective at managing social media, realistically, one social media manager can effectively manage between 1 and 2 channels themselves.
Shh, don't tell Kelsey that. I got him doing like 50, and I tell him he's not doing enough work.
Geez, Kelsey, work harder. He's just, I'm waiting for him to pop in and like.
Yeah.
Yep, this is my life. I'm used to it by now.
Work harder. Work harder, talk less.
There we go.
But yeah, so that's my point is, if you understand your audience, you understand where they're hanging out, your goal as a business is to be around them where they're hanging out. So if they're hanging out on Instagram, you want to be there. If they're hanging out on Facebook, you want to be there. Furthermore, you want to make sure that you're posting content that isn't just about you. It's not you focused. Your content should be, in their eyes, them focused. And what I mean by that is, when you post things and you do stuff on social media, there should be an immediate reaction within your people, your audience, of either, oh, that is so me, and I need to I need to comment because this is amazing, or, oh, that is so such and such. And like Tim, Tim's a good buddy of both of ours, right? So
yours,
he's not a good, but I commonly will send Tim just like stupid videos of like fishing things. It's like, you should see like my text message string to them. Most of the stuff we talk about is like novels and fishing. And so I'll send him like stupid little things, but you get the point, right? Like that type of content needs to be so engaging that when you're posting it on your channels, that it compels people without, asking them to share, that they just think, wow, this is hilarious, or this is amazing, this is so helpful. I need to share this with somebody. So what channels should you be on? The right channels.
Right. And so, going back to what you were talking about, using these chatbots, what I like about it and what I like about your method, building out that the profile, is you do it in such a way where you ask a question. You might ask about their dog. You might, and people aren't used to that. They're used to going to a site and seeing, oh, click here for 10% off. But all of a sudden something comes up and is asking about their life or their lifestyle or whatever it is. They have a tendency to answer that. Not everybody will. And then you can build out that list. So if one of the questions is, how big is your dog, or what type of dog do you have? Now you can segment that list and you can start building out custom emails or custom whatever marketing campaigns towards that specific person. The other thing, and I mention this a lot because it's a great app, Paul talks about understanding your personas and, building it up. Like, he talks about that quite a bit. But Spark Toro is a great app. We're using it. It allows you to drill down, watch an 8-minute video, drill down, build out, know who your competition is, know who their influencers are, and build out from there. So it's an incredibly easy way to, like, building a persona takes a long time. When Rand Fishkin was on, he says, yeah, building a persona, there's too much effort put into building personas. You could do it fairly rapidly with this program. So check that out. It's not expensive and it's fairly easy to do. Now, when we're talking about building out chatbots, before we get into Instagram, I do have one comment or just a question. How do you make it not frustrating? And I'm talking about, have you seen the loop? Like, I go into some sites, Paul, and I can't get an answer from the chatbot. It's not programmed properly. It can't answer my question, but yet it can't get me to a person to talk to. The frustration level, like I'm ready to throw my computer through the wall because, I can't get my answered, or I can't get to somebody. How do you get around that?
Whenever people first interact with the chatbot, you should always disclose that it's a chatbot first and foremost. In fact, that's actually law in the state of California.
Oh,
interestingly enough, there's a lot of laws in the state of California that don't necessarily make sense. That one's like 50-50. But in my opinion, that one does make sense because as a consumer, it is helpful to know when you're talking to a real person and when you're talking to a robot. I don't mind talking to, chatbots if they're helpful. The thing that pisses me off is like what you say, you get into that loop where it's like you can't find your answer and then you can't find a way to talk to a real person, and you get so frustrated that you just want to cancel your service with whomever it is that you're trying to get hold of. So introducing them as a chatbot and providing a keyword or an option to immediately connect with a human. So that's like on the customer service side. So there's almost two flavors of chatbots. You have the customer service really focused, which is very common and people are very familiar with those. Like Intercom, for example, is a big company that does chatbots, and it also connects with Teams, for Q&A, FAQs, and that sort of stuff on websites. And then you have marketing automation, chat marketing automation, which is on the opposite end of its lead generation versus customer service, or customer experience. The way that I think of those on-site chatbots, it's all about customer service and providing a good customer experience. Tim gave a great talk at BDSS, and I think it was Tim that was talking about customer experience. Maybe it was Stephen Black. Very similar, but customer service is kind of reactionary. Customer experience is proactive and thinking through like the entire journey. So if you're thinking like customer service, I want to have a chatbot to do this, you need to also think about the experience that the consumer is having, and are they getting frustrated, or are they helping? Are you helping them? So provide a way. So like a very simple keyword that we use, if you're familiar with chatbots, we just say, we'll always say like, hey, my name is Bobot, for example, for our business. I'm a digital assistant, but don't worry, if you need to get in touch with a real person, just say I need help, and then these people we list out our customer service team will pop on as soon as they can to assist you. And then I also say that we work between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday Central Standard Time. So if you are trying to get a hold of a real person and they don't get back to you we most likely won't get back to you on the weekend. The whole thing is, again, providing a good experience, because if you as a consumer know you're trying to get an answer and it's, midnight, and you just expect that, you're going to get an answer right away, and it's a small company, then you're going to be pissed off. So that's always the thing that I like frame everything that I do is it going to leave them with a positive experience? Am I going to help them get to whatever objective it is that they're trying to get to, like, quickly? And that's one of the reasons why we do automation. We automate to the point where a conversation is necessary.
All right. So before we get to the next question, just wanted to give away the giveaway today. So first of all, like Kelsey said, we do have a ticket for the Austin event. Paul's going to be there along with a ton of other speakers. It's free, plus it includes the networking lunch. If you can make it over to Austin, what was the hashtag, Kelsey? Hashtag I want Austin or something. Just say you want
I want Austin. Yeah.
Or
the first person to mention that they want the ticket, you can see it scrolling around here. I want Austin.
Right.
I'll give you the ticket. First come, first serve. It's only if you're in Austin, though. You can't do a virtual ticket. It's only, you have to be in Austin October 15th.
Yeah. And that's, October the 15th. And the giveaway today, the hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, that's going to be a done for you written press release and distribution. So it's going to be distributed to about 300-400 different media outlets. Just put Wheel of Kelsey, and we can provide some promotion for whatever you're doing in fourth quarter, or whatever you like to target with your press release. So that is the giveaway today. Hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. If you want to tag 2 people, you'll get a second entry. Prize is worth between $200 and $300. So it's a bonus for you listeners. Okay, so let's talk about Instagram automation. I'm curious about it, Paul. I got to tell you, I'm not an expert in that at all. I want to learn. So I'm going to sit back. I'm just going to let you talk for the next, half hour, 45 minutes.
Okay. So some of the things that I'm super stoked about with Instagram. So when I say Instagram automation, you used to be able to automate, and you can still automate like putting your posts up and scheduling stories and that sort of thing. Right now, if you're able to do reels, like reels are huge for Instagram engagement. I would, if you're not using Instagram yet, and it's a good, you know that your customers hang out. First and foremost, you need to start posting content, right? But when I'm talking about Instagram automation, it was Instagram direct messaging, Instagram direct automation. And starting in, it was 2019, I think it was 2018, I can't remember which one, but Mark Zuckerberg announced that they are trying to unify all of their communication apps, meaning WhatsApp, Messenger, and Instagram direct. And reading between the lines, and then also looking at all of how they're spending their money and where their biggest growth opportunities are for the future, they're seeing a drop off in Facebook, like users in general. The newer generation is not using Facebook as much as they were, as much as my generation. So what they are using are messaging apps, Messenger, Instagram Direct, WhatsApp. So fast forward to now, we're starting to see where if you go onto Instagram and you have a Facebook account, there will be like a pop-up that says, do you want to unify your accounts? And because what they're trying to do is unify so that they can see, share data across the board between all these accounts. So direct messaging automation, you used to be able to do it, and it was against terms of service. And there was a lot of like programs that you could buy that would like auto message anybody that followed your page for the first time or something like that. That provided a bad user experience, right? And so that's why it was against terms of service. So now within the terms of service, there's certain criteria and there's certain things that you can do to automate direct message communication. So for example, one of the things that's now available within Instagram Direct is you do a post. So let's say you're doing a giveaway on Instagram. And one of the things that you can automate is you can automate based on comments. Anytime anybody comments, you can then direct message them anything you want. You can reply to the comment. Cool thing, I can even share my screen if you want, and we can just walk you through. I don't have one.
Sure.
My mouse is being goofy. 1 second. I'm going to get to the right.
Just remember, Paul, describe your screen in case this is on a podcast and not on a video.
All righty. I will do that. I am extremely bad with thinking that I'm sharing my screen sometimes too, and then it's not actually sharing. So 1 second here.
Okay.
All right. So you should be able to see my screen. Is that correct?
Yep, we can see it.
So this is just the default sort of comment reply in ManyChat. So what I'm looking at is inside ManyChat. If you use ManyChat, you should be familiar with the growth tools and the automation section. So under growth tools, there's a few things that we have access to for Instagram Direct. The first one is would be actually Instagram comments. Oh, they just removed it because it wasn't working yesterday. But they have another one, which is a story reply trigger, meaning that anytime anybody replies to your story, it should trigger. It looks like they had it up and running and then they broke it. Now it's not working again, it is what it is. But I'm going to do the comment reply tool, and I'm selecting Instagram. So what we have is when you click that on Instagram under automation, you can have it work with all posts or any like a specific post. Again, thinking of customer experience, if you have it set to all and people aren't expecting a direct message from you and they just get this direct message immediately after or within a short time of them commenting on any post, that could provide a pretty weird and bad customer experience. So always you want to make sure that whenever you have this turned on, you say explicitly in the post, for example, let's say we're doing a giveaway and say you're doing one for Black Friday and you're doing like a 12 days of Christmas giveaway or something like that. And you say, just tell us a favorite holiday memory that you've had. And by doing that, you can enter the giveaway and here's what the prizes. And when you do, we'll direct message you more information on the contest. That's a good enough disclosure so that they know that they're going to receive a direct message.
Okay.
So what we can do is we can set it to exclude certain comments with these words. So you can have it exclude comments like spam or fake or all that sort of stuff. Anything that you generally get, if there's like a spam comment, like I'll get these ones like DM us for more details. Like if I see DM us or something like that, I would exclude those. The other thing that you could do is you could have it trigger only for comments with specific keywords. I don't like doing that because that requires you to say, comment below contest, and we'll direct message you, rules for the contest. The reason why I don't like doing that is if you say comment below or like this post or share this post or any of those are trigger words for Instagram and Facebook's algorithms that trigger a decrease in reach. So one of the great things about this tool, this comment response tool, is this works on organic posts and paid posts. So you can boost those posts and then have people comment and get even more exposure. So let's just say we're going with the tell us a cool holiday memory you have sort of thing. I like that because people write a paragraph and then you can go back and then create an auto response. And not only can you do just one, but you can do like a whole ton, right? So like you can have like a slew of like 30 different auto replies. That could be something like, oh my gosh, what a great story. And like that's one comment. And then here's another comment. And the point is that it'll look like you're commenting back on their comment automatically, which again helps you with getting reach. And if you ask them a question, this is amazing. Like, what did you like about it? Now, you have to think too that if you're doing these auto comments, you have to make them general, right? So if the question is, share with us a special holiday memory you have, and then you say, oh, my family loves Christmas too. Well, if you're replying to a comment that somebody mentions Hanukkah, and you're like, we love Christmas too, like that's not a problem. So you have to think through, like, make it like a horoscope that it's applicable to anyone.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I get you.
Right. So we can do like the auto reply. And then what I'm also showing here in the middle of my screen is we say there's a starting step, which is a comment on Instagram, and then the opt-in message. We can have the opt-in message be anything. So then that just goes into just normal direct messaging type stuff. So,
so Paul, back up a bit just in case people don't know what an opt-in message is. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So the opt-in message by default, when anybody messages your page and you're connected to ManyChat, for example, or Chatfuel or any of the other chatbots out there, I prefer ManyChat because, in my opinion, it's the best. It's the most well-funded. They have some of the best developers in the space. The opt-in message is basically saying, well, I'm just going to read it to you. It says, hey, the default one from ManyChat is, hey, thank you for adding your thoughts to the conversation. Would you like to receive additional content from us via Instagram? Click the options below or type a reply to start. So what this is we're sending them a direct message. After they reply to that message, they are opted in to that channel. They're a subscriber on the Instagram channel. And then we're able to then message them within Facebook's terms of service. Again, we have 24 hours that we can send them anything, or we can message them like after the fact with like if they opted in for a reminder on an event or anything like this, we could message them. But my point is, this is them. You're asking them to reply. Once they reply, they're opted in to your channel. And I always want to make sure that they know that they're opted in. And I generally will do that and say, okay, if you want to continue to receive messages from us, you will, or you can just say stop at any point in time and you can unsubscribe. So that's the opt-in message.
All right. So
in this instance, what I would do is, again, it's just going into the comments. So that the example would be the post is, tell us a special holiday memory that you have. We have the ability to do an automatic comment reply. We can do a bunch of those, and then we send them a direct message inside here. Now, what I would do then is build out the whole funnel where I would, if it was a contest of some type, we would explain the rules of the contest. Hey, instead of using this one, like, hey, thanks for commenting. My name is Bobot. I'm a digital assistant, and I'm going to guide you through the contest process. For more information, tap the link below or something like that. And I don't say click, I say tap, because everyone's using this on mobile. They're not clicking on their phone, they're tapping.
Right. Okay.
Then I would go through, and then you can gather any information that you want right inside Messenger or Instagram Direct, just like you would inside Messenger and any other chatbot. You can first name, last name, you can get an email opt-in. They can opt in for an SMS subscription, whatever you want, right? If it's a pet brand, you can ask them the names of their pets. You can store all that details, all that sort of stuff. So kind of high level, not super like deep into, that use case, but for creative people, you get it, right? The great thing about this, again, is it can be on an organic post that then you can boost. And then you're building your subscriber list inside Instagram Direct automatically. And if you set it up so that you're also getting email opt-ins and SMS opt-ins, you're building your audience list there, which then you can use in the future for new product launches. I'm a geek about building out nano influencer tribes. And so one use case that we have, and I can even show you the message, is we can have a story. You know a story mention reply, Norm? When somebody mentions you in their story, it'll say, so-and-so mentioned you in their story.
Right.
So we have a story mention reply trigger, which means that whenever somebody mentions us in a story, we can send a specific message. So what we're doing is we're funneling these people into our nano influencer, our brand ambassador program. And we just set this up. And it's kind of it's a little bit outside of our season. So it's only ran a handful of times, but we've had 2 people opt into it, which is huge. So what this is, again, I'm going to share my screen and then walk people through it. So we have the starting step is a story mention reply. Anytime anybody mentions us in a story, we can automatically reply with automation. What I'm doing is I'm having it first mark the conversation as open. What that means is that it's going to alert our team and it's going to leave the conversation open inside ManyChat. So then we can manually go in there and comment back to them. And then I have a custom field that says increase Insta story mention total by 1. Now, this is getting into conditional logic. And what I'm doing is I want to have this message send only when people mention us the first time. Because it would be really annoying if we sent the same message every time somebody mentioned us in a story. That would be bad customer experience. They would probably unsubscribe and they would not want to work with us or talk to us. So what I'm doing is we send this if it's the first time. So you can see where it starts at 0, obviously. So let's say, Norm, you mention us in a story. It's going to go through, tag the conversation as open, and then set it to 1. That'll be the first time. And then we're saying this condition is if the story mention is 1 exactly, send this message. Thanks so much for tagging us first name. So it was, thanks so much for tagging us, Norm. I'm not sure if you'd be interested, but we have a super awesome brand rep / brand ambassador tribe full of awesome humans just like you. And again, you're thinking through like generalizations, right? The majority of our audience is female, but we do have some, males that go through this. And so we also use the term awesome humans a lot in our branding. So it's brand appropriate and it's also not gender specific because we don't want to piss people off. So then we say we have an awesome reward system and an even better community. If you want more info, just reply to this message or tap one of the buttons below. And then I have apply now through Instagram Direct or get more info. If they tap get more info, I'm tagging them Insta story mention, more info, click to site. So I know that they clicked over to our site. That get more info opens the brand ambassador, the nano influencer page, landing page on our website. If they tap apply now, then it goes straight into the application, which is all run directly inside Instagram Direct. So let me go through, thank you for your interest. To start your journey, tap the button below. Or if you'd like more information, again, I need more help. So I'm actually, I mean, we could delete this because we're already saying if you want more info, you can do that earlier. But the cool thing about the way that we build and how I advocate building is we build all of our flows in bite-sized chunks. So on my screen here, we have one message. We have a couple tags, that conditional step. So I'm back at the first step, Insta story mention, send the first message, and then it goes on to the next flow, the next step in the flow. The next step in the flow is 1, possibly 2 messages, depending on which option they select. And so these are all modular. And the reason why these are modular is that we use this in multiple different flows, right? that first step here is just the story mention reply is the first step. But we could also have this second step here be a second step for a comment growth trigger, right? So that first step where I showed you earlier, the comment reply could be, hey, we're looking for amazing, let's say in this example, we could say that the comment, like the post could be, we're expanding our brand ambassador team and we're looking for people just like you. Tell us what you love about swimming at the beach with your babies, and we'll send you more info on how you can apply and join, right? That would be the post on Facebook or Instagram. Step one would be a different step. It would say, similar to that story mention reply, I'd have it delivered just one time. And then the second step would be this step that I'm showing on my screen, which is, thank you for your interest in our brand ambassador program. To start your entry, tap brand ambassador button below. Then we're tagging them, and then we go through the whole application, which is pretty short. It's just, we give them a little bit of rule. We give them a few rules. We explain that they're talking to a chatbot. Having a public Instagram account is a requirement, all that sort of stuff. And then we go into gathering their name, gathering their email address, seeing if they want to opt in to get emails, et cetera, et cetera. And so, all of this, again, it's modular.
So what I like about this, very similar to, the Facebook chatbot, but it's taking somebody that's already passionate about your product or your brand, and you're taking that basically free of charge, and you're converting that person over to a brand ambassador. So a brand ambassador, basically, it's just an that's what it is. It's an influencer that has passion about your product. And for you, I know that what you've done, we've talked about it plenty of times, but you've built up this army of nano influencers that are basically going out there providing user-generated content for you. In fact, I believe over a 3-month period or maybe a bit longer, you got 2,000 pictures of people, lifestyle pictures of people.
We're at 11,000 now.
11,000.
11,000 pieces of user-generated content.
So there you go. So how much would you pay for that? And, is it $10? Is it $100? I can show you sites right now that you'll be charged $100 per influencer's content.
Yeah.
So, it could be, it's worth its weight in gold for companies to do that. Joe Martin was on. I talk about this quite a bit. He only uses influencers. However, he uses the more mega celeb influencers. He had the money to do it, but he also got the results. So he just sold his company for $500 million.
No big deal.
No big deal. Chump change to you, anyways, Paul.
I wish.
But the thing is, he did it. So it's taking a channel, it's understanding the channel, or finding a company that does, working with them to build that out. Yeah. And I find, I'm just going to go down in like typical rant, but if you don't understand PPC, or if you don't understand, or if you just know, let's say Excel, and you only know the sum formula, you'll never get the most out of Excel. You have to be able to dig deep, and you can do it. Actually, ManyChat is a very good platform for training. They have tons of very good training there. And if you don't, you got to find somebody that will do it. So you can spend a lot of time, come back, say, this sucks, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or you can find a professional to do it. So not saying that you have to go out and get the professional, but you have to set some time aside to understand it. And what you're showing here is an incredible way to really get passionate people, free influencers, convert them over to a brand ambassador, and promote your product while getting free user-generated content. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's one of those things that, to your point about hiring experts or trying things fully, I had a conversation with several people at Billion Dollar Seller Summit that, we had just spoken at, right? And I talked about Instagram Direct and how basically lined out, what we're doing and with the Nano Influencer program and how we're using Instagram Direct now. And a lot of the people that I talked to had said, yeah, we had tried, this when it first came out, and, I hired a VA, and then he was supposed to do it and he couldn't figure it out. And then we brought in another guy and then he couldn't figure it out. So we just gave up. That's like saying, that's like you know, you have a car that's broken down and you go to your buddy who owns Matchbox cars.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, you know a lot about cars. Can you help me fix this? And then he says, well, I can't fix it. But you don't go to a mechanic. That is absurd to me that you wouldn't talk to an expert. So regardless of whether you want to do it yourself or you're going to hire an expert, you need to make sure that you give it a fair shake. And you have to make sure that if you're hiring somebody, make sure they know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
Like the
For
VA
sure.
route, the VA route is not, I'm not poo-pooing that, but there are so many terms of service on Instagram, on Messenger, on Facebook, and Amazon that it's very easy to inadvertently break a rule that you don't realize that you're breaking. And then all of a sudden you lose your entire account, all the time
For
that you've
life.
invested. For life. Right. I mean, it's not uncommon. There is a person who had a competing course to mine that used to provide services, and we had a lot of people that had come to us after hiring her, and a few of their, like, long story short, they were getting bad advice and their accounts were suspended, and then they came to us to have, to help. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. We can start a new account.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating. But yeah, so if you're going to do this, the places to start would be ManyChat itself. Like Norm said, has a lot of really good information. Like Mackenzie Lieberman she has a course on bots, and then she did a free course for ManyChat. She's amazing. She's incredibly smart. Trilce Hiron is one of my friends as well from Costa Rica. She's done some courses for ManyChat, and all these people are like brilliant people. And then if you need additional help, and Amazon specific, we have Chat Marketing University that we're updating the content now. We haven't updated it in a year and a half, but finally we're getting started on doing this. But there's a lot of resources, is my point. And a lot of the times, instead of, you don't even need to pay for a course. You can just do a lot of Google research. There's a lot of free information on YouTube. Good thing about
it depends on time.
Depends on your time, really. Courses are great because they compress it and they set it up in a very succinct manner that you have like milestones to hit and all that sort of stuff. It is significantly less time than going the YouTube route and trying to, figure it out yourself. And then obviously, if you want to just hire someone, there's that option too.
Right. So we are short on time today. I got a couple other questions I wanted to ask you, but let's get you back on next month and finish up asking some of these questions. It's a great new topic. There's a lot that you can do with this. So hopefully, everybody got enough information here. You're part of our Facebook group. So if people do have questions, please drop them in there. I don't know, Kelsey, are there any questions that we had today?
Yep. Yeah, we have some questions.
Okay, let's take one and then we'll go to the wheel and then we'll post the other questions in the Facebook group. How's that?
All right, let me
and just then we'll put Paul on the spot and maybe he can go into our Facebook group and do some answering.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think, let's see, we'll do this one.
Sure.
I'm just curious, how do we get people to message our chatbot? Like, how do we bring the audience? Like Facebook ads or good content, and won't that take a lot of time before we get some decent traffic to ManyChat?
Anything worth building takes time. I mean, seriously, I don't mean to sound rude, but if you're expecting it to be easy, it's not. Like business is not easy. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. And that's the thing, is that the people that are willing to put in the time, that are willing to work hard, are going to win. And the people that aren't willing to work hard won't win. That's just how life works. So getting people to message your chatbot, there's a ton of different ways. So I was just talking about Instagram Direct, for example. The triggers are like the comment trigger, right? That's one trigger that will trigger automation. The other trigger that I walked through was the story mention trigger. So that's a great use case for, like Norman said, for people that are already passionate. These are people that are tagging us and mentioning us in a story of their own free will. So all we've done is simplify our outreach process to them. Instead of having it be a manual thing where we go in and manually type this, all we're doing is we're eliminating the manual step and then inviting people to apply. So that's one example. The other example, like I said, could be, I actually haven't gone into these, would be a keyword trigger. So you could have people message your chatbot and say, go, message us this keyword like discount if you're doing or product or launch or something, right? If you're doing a product launch, those are ways that people message your chatbot. The other ways, like you had said, Amar, would be like Facebook ads or good content. Obviously, good content is king. If you don't have good content, your ad costs are going to be high. You're not going to get any engagement, all that sort of stuff. But Facebook ads are another way. You inside Facebook itself, Messenger, there is a click to message ad type that people just tap a button and then it opens in Messenger. And then you can say what the button is, whether it's message us or shop now or more info or whatever. There's a ton of different options. And what I would say, Amar, is just go to ManyChat. If you don't have an account, they're free to sign up. And then just look at their training resources because they have a really good guide and walkthrough of like those basic toolkits.
So Paul, maybe that's what our next podcast will be on, how to drive traffic or how to develop traffic on your chatbots, not just Instagram, but Facebook or whatever you're working with. But anyways, we got to cut it off right now because I'm cramming in a few things before I leave for London. So, all right, Kelsey, let's do that Wheel of Kelsey.
All right, here we go. Here is the Wheel of Kelsey.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right, so this is for the free press release and distribution courtesy of PR Reach. So I'm just going to spin this. If you
Shane
are the
has
winner,
no idea that this is happening, by the way.
I don't think he ever does.
No.
We always throw these surprises at him. All right, AMZ Elites. Oh, wow, again.
Wow, Tom, you are just, I guess you've been paying Kelsey or something. I think that's your second or third in a row.
Not in a row, but he's won twice the last 2 weeks. So,
very good.
Congratulations,
Very good.
Tom.
All right, and we will be seeing Tom in London in a couple days or tomorrow. Okay, so just because I got to run, Mr. Paul, look, if people are looking to get a hold of you or take part in your university, how do you get in touch with yourself or your company?
Don't send me a message on Messenger to my personal account because if we're not connected, I generally don't see those. Just connect with us on our website, thechatagency.com, and there's a little messaging, Messenger is built into the site there, so you can message us there. And then, you can either schedule a call if you want us to do it for you, or if you want more information on the university itself, then we can direct you, where it'll best help you out.
Okay, very good. All right. So I think that's it. Paul, thank you for coming on. You were literally contacted last night saying, we got a problem. And you just came on right away, put together this presentation. So I really appreciate it.
Anytime. Okay. It's always a pleasure.
We'll see you in Austin.
All right. See ya.
Okay. All right, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed the show today. It's very interesting. Instagram automation. I've got to check it out. I've got to build out something. I'll be contacting Paul to talk about this myself. But anyways, hope you enjoyed it. I am off tomorrow. I will be back on Monday. And yeah, what a quick trip. Anyways, that's it. That's it for the show. I just wanted to give a big thank you to our sponsor, Global Wired Advisors, a leading digital investment bank focused on optimizing the business sales process. For more information, please give globalwiredadvisors.com a call or click on their link. Go to their website. They're an awesome company.
All right. So we'll wrap this up pretty quick today. Yep. Thanks for watching, everyone. We are back to our normal schedule on Monday. And Norm has a clubhouse that he's about to hop on. It's called Ecom Weekly. So check it out. And if you're part of the Patreon, we have our guest lesson with Amy Weiss starting at 1:15 today. So looking forward to that. And we'll see our Patreon members there for our Platinum Patreon members. And thank you, everyone. We know it's the Thursday episode. We kind of probably threw a little surprise at you today. But I hope you guys enjoyed. And let us know what you think about today's episode. I know it's a little different than what we normally do. Okay. So if you have any feedback, k@lunchwithnorm.com.
All right. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And remember, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, usually at noon Eastern Standard Time. And also, thanks for joining today. We really appreciate it. We know we threw a curveball in there, but we had a great turnout. I want to thank you for being part of our community. We couldn't do this without you, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Lunch with the